Hey guys, it's Mike Nardi here. So you watched my first video and you want to get started selling and making money on Fiverr. That's fantastic. But there are a couple things that you should probably do before you post your first gig to help set yourself up for success, to get you to the point where you're getting views on your gigs and you're getting sales on a consistent basis. So what we're going to be talking about today has to do with market research and some of the data and things you should collect before posting your first gig to help increase your chances of success.
All right, so this is my analytics page on Fiverr. I've been doing this for about 7 months, and as you can see, I've gone from that first month in February doing $94 to the point where I'm averaging well over $1,000, in and around $3,000 per month most recently. And this is ultimately what success looks like when I mention getting to the point where you're making money more consistently on Fiverr. More specifically, if I click into my gigs and look at what they've been doing over the last 6 months, the progression and growth has been fantastic, right? Steady growth, increased number of impressions, and pretty consistent order frequencies. So this is what success looks like, and this is what this video is about, to help you get to the point where you're also having some success seeing these types of results. And if I click over to the buying tab in Fiverr and just hit one of the keywords that I rank against, I'm right there. It's been 7 months and I'm ranking 6th or 7th on the first page for email marketing on Fiverr. Let's try another one. Email writing. Same thing. So, this video's goal is to set the groundwork to help you get to this point as well. And I definitely think that we can get you there.
All right. So I've just shown you a bunch of screens, subtle brags about how successful I've been able to be on Fiverr. Basically just giving you some validation that, this is the journey that I've been on. I've gotten to the point where I'm getting a lot of views, I'm getting a lot of orders, and my gigs are ranking pretty highly. But how do you do that? So before you get started, you really need to take some time to figure out what you're actually going to do on Fiverr. I'd recommend spending a couple of hours, even a few days, taking your time to go through the various categories that Fiverr offers services through and figure out where you can be a player, right? There's two real things that I think you should think about. It's one, what are people selling on Fiverr and, are people actually buying it? And two, what can you do that you're confident you can do to a level that people will pay you to do it, and you can feel content with the fact that once you deliver your completed work, you're actually delivering value. That should always be the focus, delivering quality work, because that's what's going to help you, take things from level 1 to, getting to the point where you actually have a real business here.
So what I want to show you here is all I really mean when I say go through Fiverr and do some research and figure out where you want to offer your services is take some time to go through all of these different categories. There's hundreds of things you can do on Fiverr and hundreds of things that people are doing. It's really just an exercise to help you, draw some connections between your life experience and things that people are paying to get done on Fiverr. Because I'm sure you have some skills that you've picked up over the years at work that you can translate to this site. In my case, that was copywriting. So, if you click into email copy, go through these types of listings. Who's doing them? Where are they from? Are they from the US? Are these people overseas? What do they charge? How many reviews do they have? And just go through this exercise and make a list of, a couple different areas that you think that you could add value. Now, one thing that I tried to be careful of when I was doing this exercise is you'll notice that there are certain, let's call them industries on Fiverr, where either people from overseas or people just willing to work for really low amounts of money will post their services, in this case, $6.96. Just make sure that if you're going to compete against people like that who might be willing to spend hours to do a job for a couple bucks, just make sure it's worth your while. I live in Canada. If you're like me or you live in the US or somewhere else where the cost of living is quite high, I don't know if you want to get into a situation where you're banging out $5 jobs that take an hour, right? If though you have some skill that can help you differentiate and up your prices to offer more of a premium service against these people, totally go for it.
So in my case, this was copywriting. I had a background in sales and customer service. I've worked for a lot of big and small companies, startups with 6 employees and Fortune 500s with 30,000 employees. So I felt that, with everyone doing what they're doing on Fiverr, I could use that as a little bit of a competitive edge, or even just a way to tell my story to help me connect better with potential buyers so they could see the value that I'm bringing through my work experience. And that's how I got started. For you, it can really be anything. There's millions of things you can do on Fiverr. Take the time to review, some of the things other people are doing. Check out the different categories and pick something that you think you could do relatively well and get started with that.
So the last thing that I wanted to show you that relates to this whole topic of research and figuring out where you want to play is a little exercise that I did that really helped me identify what was working for the people who were doing what I wanted to be doing, and compile all that information in such a way where I could use it to help me build my gigs, so that my gigs would rise to the top and I'd be the one making that money. So what you want to do is, after you've decided, really what niche you're going to be selling your services into, search for that keyword. So for me, being a copywriter, I hit email marketing. So you're going to get pinged with all the top page 1 results. There's me again, little plug. But yeah, go through and write down the top 10 or 20 or so. Write their names, who they are, what country they're operating out of, what their lowest costing gig goes for, how many reviews they get, and just general information about what they're putting in their gigs to help you make assumptions as to why you think they might be ranking so highly. So, in the case of myself, if I go into my main gig here, look at how many orders do people have active, what are their reviews, what do they include in their different packages, and what's the general framework and format they're using to write their descriptions. So what I did is I put this into a spreadsheet. So this is just an example of searching for the keyword email marketing, but you report all this information, their name, their page rank, the location, how many reviews they have. And then you can even start to guesstimate how much revenue they're making. So this is just a really easy calculation, taking their lowest costing service and multiplying it by the number of reviews. Now, it's unlikely that every order they process left a review. So this is just a good foundation or a ballpark understanding of what they're probably making to help give you an idea of what you could strive for. The last thing is, this is kind of just a gut feeling thing based on their description and the type of quality they portray in how they speak, is whether or not you think you can do it better than them. So obviously I'm going to dive in, or I should say, I thought it was obvious that I wanted to dive into everyone that I viewed as a real competitor, people that I wasn't sure I'd be able to offer a better service than. And then also, for the people who I did think I could offer a better service than, I'm also going to look into the ones who are making quite a bit of money, because they're obviously doing something right to rank so highly. So using this information, this is really what you're going to use to build out your gig descriptions and initially post your first gig on Fiverr. And that's actually what I'm going to be talking about in my next video as well, walking through the process and some best practices to building a gig that's going to rank highly.
All right. So at this point, you've explored Fiverr, right? You've gotten a feel for what people are selling on Fiverr, how much they're selling these things for, and what they might be making. You have your list of 10 or 20 competitors. We're going to use that information in my next video, where I show you how to actually create your first gig using the research you've done so far, and then also implementing some SEO, keyword marketing, and just really search engine best practices to help you post a gig that's going to rank highly and increase your chances of having people see it and order your services. So as always, thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Please let me know if I've missed anything or you have any questions. I'm always happy to answer them and help out. Thanks again. Cheers.